What's up, guys? I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. Since I haven't made a video in a little while, I figured I had to do something today. So I was like, you know what? Let's make a tier list. So what I got here today is a is every Disney animated movie. I'm not sure if it's every, but it's the popular ones that people should know. And I'm going to be ranking them from God tier to dumpster fire, and the ones I haven't seen will go here. So let's get started. First, we have Bug's Life. I don't remember anything about this movie, but really, even if I have, I think the whole DreamWorks thing about like the whole Disney and DreamWorks thing just it overshadows the movie. And I feel like a lot of people just simply aren't gonna like it just because of all the controversy that brought. A Goofy movie. I might have seen it at some point, but I don't remember it, so I'll put it here. So I don't think it's fair to rate it. Aladdin. I remembered this movie, and I think it's amazing. I love Robin Williams' voice role. I think he was pretty much born for the voice acting role of Genie, and I love it. I haven't seen it in a little while, but I remember it very well, and I absolutely love this movie. Atlantis, I don't remember it. Actually, I don't think I've watched it at all, so I'll put it in that category. Bambi, um, dumpster fire. It's not because it's a classic movie. In fact, I absolutely love classics. Don't get me wrong, but it starts off just Bambi's mom gets shot at the beginning. Maybe I'm just too harsh on that, but like it's sad. It's sad to see stuff like that. And when you see anime Disney movies, you don't want to feel sad. You want to feel happy. I mean, maybe sadness it like makes the story better, but for Bambi, I don't see that. Next movie is Beauty and the Beast. Where else could it possibly go? God tier. I love the animation of this movie. It is so good. I love the story. It is Taylor's Oldest Time. I get it. And I love this movie, and it totally deserves that spot. Big Hero 6. A lot of people like to take a dump on this movie just because of Baymax and everything, but really, it's not too bad. I'll put it in could be better for those who absolutely hate it. So I won't go too much details about that. Just Brave. My sister loves this movie, and to be honest, it's actually pretty good. So I'll put it there. It's I think this is the only Disney princess movie that Pixar helped make. Everything else I think was just Disney. Um, I think it's a good story. I love the Scottishness. Who doesn't like Scottish people? Let's be honest here. Um, or the Irish. I don't know. They're some Celtic people, I think. Either way, it's a good movie, and I love the story. I think I don't know. I don't know anything about that movie. I'll put it there. Cars 2. This I completely agree with the people who take a dump on it. It sucks. This whole movie just stuck. Just sucks. I don't know why. I haven't seen this. Cars. It's obviously better than Cars 2, so I won't put it there. I don't think it's too bad actually. That's kind of too high. I'll put it here. It could be better. Really, you didn't have to do Cars. You just didn't. It was not necessary. Cinderella. Um, it's really good. I don't think it's as good as Beauty and the Beast, and I do think it's a pretty good for a classic movie. But I'm not gonna hate too much on it. It's good. I think this is where it goes. Coco. I've only seen this movie a few times, and I'm trying to think. Like this is an interesting one to rate because I haven't seen this one in a little while, so I can't put it here. It wasn't okay. It wasn't bad. It's not fantastic. Let's see. I don't think it's amazing. It's either gonna go into one of these two spots. Here. I think I this whole. I mean, it's got a twist villain in it, which kind of a lot of people don't like twist villains, but really, I think it's good. I think it's a good movie. Dumbo. I don't remember too much of it, but I think it's enough to not put it here. Um, let's see. Dumbo. Who doesn't love the big giant ears of Dumbo? It's way better than the real life version, which I don't think anybody likes. Really, I think it's just a big money grab for Disney. But the original one, I think, is actually pretty good. So I'll put it here. Fantasia. This is an absolute work of art. It deserves to be put into the movie Hall of Fame if it hasn't already. And it is just it's a piece of art, it's a piece of history. And for those of you who haven't seen it, you are living under a rock and you need to watch it now or else you cannot live a life. Finding Dory. I almost said Finding Nemo, but this is actually Finding Dory. Finding Dory, it could be better. I mean, it's not that I don't love Dory, and it's not that I don't love any of the characters there. It's just something about this that just doesn't deserve pretty good or truly amazing. But as a compromise, I'll put Finding Nemo in pretty good. Finding Nemo, I think, was better than Finding Dory, mainly because Dory doesn't seem like the kind of person that would venture out in the middle of nowhere to go looking for stuff. Nemo, meanwhile, is kind of justifiable because he was stuck in the anemone with his dad. It was just kind of stuck there for a very long time. So he's kind of wondering what the outside world is like. Meanwhile, Dory, she was by herself for a very long time before she met Marlin, and she was stuck with them. So really, I don't see this movie. This is better than okay. Anyway, just moving on. Frozen 2, eh, it's actually not too bad. Pretty good. I'll put Frozen the same thing. Really, really, both of these movies, some people hate on too hard because of Let It Go and how big of an impact Frozen was on the internet, more specifically YouTube. Um, but overall, I think looking back on it now, I don't think it was that bad of a movie. Haven't seen that one or that one. Incredibles 2. Well, it was quite incredible. I'll go pretty good. This, I think Pixar waited way too long to create this movie for how good the first movie was. But overall, I don't think this was a disappointment. I love Jack Jack in this film. I like it a lot. Inside Out. I didn't like this movie early on, but like looking back on it now, I don't think it was too bad. But really, just some stuff on it just doesn't make sense. Like, why does Riley's emotions like generic basic while like every others have like their own like styles? Like, do you know what I get it? Like later on in the film when they're looking at other emotions and like you see that they have like other costumes on. Meanwhile, for Riley, they just look plain and generic. That doesn't make too much sense to me. And clearly, Riley isn't a generic person, so it goes there. Lady and Tramp. If I watched this movie like I don't know 2 weeks ago. I think this is most recent out of all these animated movies that I've watched, and I think that this movie goes here. I think that this is another work of art, not quite as earth shattering as Fantasia was, but it's another good classic movie that I recommend. Who doesn't love dogs? Who doesn't love love? And really, it's a good movie. I totally recommend it. Lilo and Stitch. This movie is I think a bit underrated in my opinion, so I'm gonna put it pretty good. I like it. I like Stitch. I can do a good Stitch impression, but I'm not gonna do it now and embarrass myself in front of the 10 people that watch this. I have not seen this one. Meet the Robinsons. It sucked. I'm gonna put it there. I mean, it just the whole movie just doesn't look good to me. I don't know why they made it. I haven't seen that one. Moana. This was actually a pretty good movie. I love the Rock in this movie. This was pretty good. And my sister loved this. The songs were pretty good too, and the animation looked good, especially the ocean. This was a good movie. I'll put it there. Monsters Inc. This was also pretty amazing. I mean, a lot of Pixar movies I enjoyed watching when I was a young wee lad, still in elementary school. Monsters Inc. I haven't. It's been a little while since I've seen most of these movies, but I still remember them enough to get a good idea of where to put them. Monsters Inc. I think deserves this spot. Their sequel, meanwhile, I don't think it does. Let me just think about they really they put their heart and soul in Monsters Inc. and you could see by the way that they designed the characters. Meanwhile, Monsters University, it's generic, it's basic, they could clearly tell that they put more heart and soul in Monsters Inc. than they did in Monsters University. So really, I think that's justifiable. Mulan. I think that's also an amazing movie. I think that the China aspect of the film is good. Like a whole lot of other princess movies take place in like probably like a European place. Like Cinderella, I believe, takes place in like Germany or something. Mulan takes place in China, as I mentioned it multiple times in the movie. And like the songs in it are good, the voice acting is good, the animation is good, and overall it's a good movie. I don't even know what that is. 101 Dalmatians. I haven't seen this movie enough to give it a rating, so I'll put it there. Peter Pan, freaking amazing. I don't care what anybody says. This movie deserves God tier. I don't care who judges me on it. It goes in this spot and fight me. Pinocchio, same thing. Same exact thing. You can't go wrong with classics unless if it's Bambi. And like a lot of these higher up movies such as Pinocchio, Peter Pan, and Fantasia really set the tune for future Disney movies. So really I think that these three movies, like obviously more, but these three movies in particular is what set Disney's path to success. Planes, Dumpster Fire. I've only seen it once and I don't have good thoughts about it, so I'm gonna put it there. Pocahontas. Pretty good. The animation once again pretty good. Um, I once again, it's a guy. It's kind of like Mulan. Like most Disney princess movies are normally in like Europe area. Pocahontas, meanwhile, took place in America, and during the colonization age. So I think that that's a unique aspect to Disney movies, and like I'm not really Disney movies, but like princess movies. Is that Wreck-It Ralph or Ralph Breaks the Internet? I'm gonna go. I think this is Ralph Breaks the Internet, so therefore it goes here. It sucked. It was a bad movie. Like I don't understand why they just completely flipped the script compared to this movie. Right to the first Wreck-It Ralph. Like really, this movie is like you can't say that this is the sequel to Wreck-It Ralph other than like the same characters and like the same animation style. Also, don't include the internet in movies, please. Internet does not deserve movies, okay? Just don't do it, please. Ratatouille. It's pretty good. Actually, I don't know. I mean, the rat at like it's kind of memed on nowadays, Ratatouille, but like it takes place in France. It's a rat. You know what? Really, the rat aspect puts in could be better. Like it's interesting to put rats in a kitchen, but like really, there's just something like unsettling about that. Having rats cook your food, the same animals that sneak into your house and pooping your drawers and stuff like that. So really, it could be better. I don't know why they picked rats as that movie. Robin Hood, piece of art. It goes in God tier. I'm not putting it there because I'm a furry. Okay, I'm not a furry. I just think I think that the storyline and the animation and the voice acting is truly amazing. It is I'm not sure if this classifies as a classic, but if either way, I still think that it deserves God tier along with these other four movies. Have not seen that one. Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty. It's another classic, so it's gonna go high. Which one? It'll be truly amazing. Like it's another movie that set the stage for Disney's success, and it's like it's the only princess movie to me that um I don't know where I'm going with that. Aurora and like I think that I don't know how to describe it. I'm just gonna put in truly amazing just because. Snow White goes in God tier. This movie saved Disney. Without Snow White, you have no Disney. So you can't just throw aside Snow White like it was nothing. And I don't think a lot of people mention it nowadays, but Snow White saved Disney. Without Snow White, you wouldn't have great stuff like Robin Hood. You wouldn't have Pinocchio. You wouldn't have Beauty and the Beast. You wouldn't have Finding Nemo. You wouldn't have any of these. Without this movie, you have none of this. So really, it deserves this spot most definitely. It is it. You know what? I'm putting it right in front of everybody. It deserves that spot 100%. Tangled. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's not a bad movie. It's not trash. It could be better. It really could be better. I don't know. The the animation to me doesn't seem pleasing to me. Just something about it just doesn't hit it with me. So I'm gonna put it in that category. I have not seen this movie. Aristocats. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. I love this movie. God tier. So I've also seen this movie quite recently. Well, not as recently as Lady and the Tramp, but still pretty recently. I like Aristocats better than Lady and the Tramp because this movie stuck with me longer than Lady and the Tramp did. I love O'Malley, I love Duchess, I love the kittens, and this movie I think is better than Lady and the Tramp. I might be biased because I think I like cats more than dogs, but I do think God tier is the rightful spot for Aristocats. I have not seen that one, so I'm gonna put it there. Emperor's New Groove. Oh boy, this is gonna be a controversial pick for me, but it's gonna go. It's gonna go pretty good. Um, it's a lot of people think that's trash, but honestly, I think it might be one of the most underrated movies that Disney has ever made. Actually, not ever made, just in recent Disney history. I'm not gonna be too I'm not gonna go too good on this movie, but really, I like this movie because the comedic aspect works. To me, like this movie wasn't meant to be a serious movie. It was meant to be a kind of like a comedic film for an animated comedic film. So this movie, I love it. I love this movie, and I would put in truly amazing, but I'm not gonna tick people off by putting it in the higher ups. So really, the compromise is pretty good. Fox and the Hound. This movie is sad, so therefore, sad movies get dumpster fire because I don't like sad. Bambi and Fox and the Hound are actually no. Bambi is not as bad as Fox and the Hound. Fox and the Hound is I don't know how it could get worse than this. Two buddies are best friends when they're babies. They get separated. One learns to hunt the other, and it's so sad. It's awful. It sucks. I don't get it. I don't know why. I don't know why Disney likes to torture us with these sad movies, but they do for some reason. The Good Dinosaur, dumpster fire. It was a box office bomb. It sucked. It was awful. I hated it, and it deserves that category. Had not seen that movie. The Incredibles. God tier. This is another fan freaking tastic Pixar film. Other than the classics that we have up here and Beauty and the Beast, The Incredibles is a one of the best Disney movies that I think has ever been made. And Pixar, this is I think the second best Pixar movie ever made. I love the storyline, I love the animation, and overall it is a really really good movie. Jungle Book. Um I I don't remember watching this a whole lot when I was younger, but looking back on it now, I love it a lot. So really I think it goes truly amazing. It's another classic movie of Phil Harris, who also voiced O'Malley in Aristocats, and it's a pretty good. He also voiced Lil Jon in Robin Hood too, so really you can't go wrong with Phil Harris. And overall, it is a amazing movie. The Lion King. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know where I'm gonna put this. God tier. It's another Beauty and the Beast thing. Like really, what the Lion King and Beauty and the Beast have in common is that it was a very explosive transition from classic Disney with like the hand drawn stuff to like modern Disney with like the um it's more like it seems more modern compared to the classic movies, and really the Lion King and the Beauty and the Beast was the transition between that, and overall I think this also really set the stage for really modern Disney movies in general. Also, I love Simba. The Little Mermaid. This was another movie that I loved growing up, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think this is like the first Disney princess film released since I think Cinderella. So I don't know why it took them so long to make princess movies. Like I like princess movies. It's not because I'm trying to be a rebellious boy or anything, but really I think princess movies is what makes Disney Disney. So really, Disney just kind of halted themselves for a very long time, and and then they made Little Mermaid. So really, I think this was a good return for princess movies, and I think that it deserves this category. Winnie the Pooh. I love this movie. Truly amazing. My brother absolutely loved Tigger growing up, and I did too, to be honest. So really, it's because of Tigger the reason why I put this movie up so high. Thank you, Tigger. Nightmare Before Christmas could be better. It's not a bad movie, but I don't know. Like I don't. I think mixing Halloween with Christmas. I don't know. So I mean, it's not a bad concept, but just something about that just doesn't work with me. Princess and the Frog. Let's see. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I will put this. It was. I think this is the first princess film that was like taking place in like America because I think they mention like an American city. I think they mentioned like New Orleans in this film, which I think is cool. But here's what I don't really get: how is where is this prince from? Like where is he? Is he from like the Caribbean? Is he from Europe? Is he from some state in America? Even though he couldn't be from a state in America because America doesn't have kings, or do they? I don't know. I am American, so I could be just stupid enough and not know. But that's really the only thing I don't get. Really, but other than that, song is good, animation is good, and I think it's pretty good. So I'm gonna put there. Rescuers, don't know. Sword and Sword, don't know. Don't know. Okay, now we go for the Toy Story movies. So I guess we're gonna the two Toy Story gets God tier. It's God tier. It's my favorite Disney movie ever. It's gonna go second place behind Snow White. So really, I think that this is the movie. When you go, if you hang out with me someday and you want to say you want to watch a movie, I'm gonna say Toy Story because it is my childhood film. It remains to be my favorite film ever created, and nothing will ever top Toy Story. It just won't. Meanwhile, oh boy, you have these two. Both of these, Toy Story 3 goes here, Toy Story 4 goes here. Toy Story 3 wasn't bad actually. I think the concept of Andy going to college is a good thing. I think that's a good plot, but like it could be better because like really Andy wasn't much talk. It wasn't like they didn't do much with Andy. They said Andy's going to college. Oh no. We got to change our whole lifestyles now. But like really Andy doesn't play much of a role in the film. He impacts the way toys behave in the film, but other than that, he just doesn't play as big of a role as the toys think he does. So really, it could be better because that Toy Story 4, meanwhile, is garbage. Woody just completely abandons his loyalty to his owners, and he just completely goes rogue, and he just this movie sucked. I hated this. It's a stupid sequel to one of the best things that have ever been created in the Toy Story franchise. Thanks, Toy Story 4. You absolutely suck, and you deserve it along with every other film in this category. Treasure Planet, I believe that's what it's called. I have not seen that. Up. We have Up. Let's see. Amazing. The storyline is fantastic. I love Russell. I love Fredricksen. I love Doug and Kevin. This movie's good. It's another Pixar movie, which is good because you can't go wrong with Disney. You can't go wrong with Pixar movies unless if it's of course Toy Story 4 or Cars. And I think it's good. I think Up is an example of Pixar hitting a home run with creating movies. Wally, another fan freaking tastic Wally film. I believe Up and Wally was made around the same time. So really, this is when Pixar was pumping movies out like it was their thing. I think Disney just bought Pixar around this time too. So I think Pixar was like coming around with its like identity around the time. Wreck-It Ralph. Could be better. I think it's obviously better than when he broke the internet. But overall, Wreck-It Ralph is just meh to me. I don't really like it that much. And Zootopia. Hmm, I'm not a furry. Pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna go too harsh on this movie. It's not high. If I rank this movie high, I'm gonna be called furry. Okay, so I'm gonna pull the not furry option and put it in pretty good. I was pretty harsh on this movie when I first watched it because I thought furries were just. I'm not furry. Okay, Robin Hood's the only exception to me. And here it is. There's a lot of movies I haven't watched, and this is probably one of the longest videos I've ever made, and this is probably very boring to you guys. So I guess put it on 2 times speed if you're willing to go through the pain of watching this video. But thanks for watching. And hit the like button, please. I'm such a mess. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.